Hey man, I'm Chris with Foam Cats, and here is a solid Fire Wave deck to try. I really can't get this deck to work the way I want it to, and I think I'm giving up. But here's what my latest venture was. I'm playing with both Grim Lavamancers. This is one of the key parts of the deck. The discard, like you're going to be discarding things and then exiling them and dealing damage. It's pro, dude. If there were 4 of those, this deck would have a chance. And I feel like it's as important to the deck as Dimir is in the black-blue deck. But yeah, a lot of times you're going to be letting you're going to say go, and then on your opponent's turn, you're going to cast an instant that's going to give you enough cards in your graveyard to use his ability. It's just nice DPS. In this meta, you gotta play with some Goblin Arsonists. I've tried without them, and right now I'm playing with 2 of the 3. It's 1 mana for a 1/1, and when it dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So it's kind of better than a Mog Fanatic, because you don't even have to sacrifice it. But that's not even DOTP related. So many decks will have a problem with this. There's just a lot of good use. It's just a nice turn 1 play that'll keep you in the picture. Disintegrate. We got 2 of these X spells. Very nice. It exiles the creature. That's important against the black deck. So if you exile some of their zombies, they don't come back. That's really good, dude. Pillar of Flame does the same thing. 2 damage, and if a creature dies, you exile it. So you're not going to have to worry about that Gravecrawler coming back. You're not going to have to worry about that Geralf's Messenger coming back and dealing another 2 damage to you. It's pro. Flame Slash is 1 mana for 4 damage, pretty basic. Kiln Fiend is a little controversial to me. It's 2 mana for a 1/2, and then whenever you cast an instant spell, it gets +3/+0. So if you go first, turn 2 Kiln Fiend, turn 3 kill your creature and swing for 4, and then you just try to do that every turn from there on out. You can play with up to 3 of these, and it combos well with other elements of the deck. Final Fortune is insane. It gives you an extra turn, so it fits with that. Just everything that's an instant or sorcery from here on out, you have to take it into consideration. Yes, there is like a god draw or a god situation of you using a Kiln Fiend with a Furnace of Wrath in play, and then hitting them for 2 that turns into 4, and then swinging in for 8. 2, 4, 6, is that 12 damage altogether? Yeah, no, 6, 12, yeah, we're cool. But let's keep going. So those Kiln Fiends really remind me of a ground version of Chandra's Spitfire. I don't know what's better. Is casting it a turn late and then having her peculiar difference, is that more advantageous? I can't decide. It probably is. They only give you 1 Spitfire. You got 2 of these Phoenixes, 3 mana for the 2/2, and it comes back into play. It's just so hard to get this deck going against the big 3 for me. Wild Guess gives you some card draw, 2 mana, ditch any card. Just discard a card and then you draw 2 cards. If you Reverberate Wild Guess, you don't have to discard another card. You just draw 4 cards. That's happened. If you Reverberate your Nuts card, Browbeat, then it works advantageously too, the way you would want it to. Let's see, you gotta Reverberate to clone things. You can clone any instant or sorcery. Combos well with the Kiln Fiend, dude. Turn 2 Kiln Fiend, turn 3 Pillar of Flame them, and then Reverberate it. You're swinging in for 7 after just popping them for 4, and that's 11 damage on turn 3. I mean, that'll make anybody nervous. You have 1 Searing Spear. I kind of wish it was an Incinerate, but it's not, so deal with that. You can play with 2 Sulfuric Vortexes. Basically, no one gains life, and then during each player's upkeep, they take 2 damage. It sets an immediate clock, so every control deck is going to be sweating, and every life gain deck is going to be a little nervous too, and a lot of decks gain life. I'm playing with Seismic Assault. It basically turns every mountain that you draw into potential 2 damage. And when you're discarding these lands, you're filling up your graveyard, so that kind of meshes well with old boy, our first 1-drop that's way over here, Grim Lavamancer. Sometimes I think about taking out Seismic Assault, because you're playing with Disintegrates too. So if you're playing with these X spells to where you want to have as many land as possible, why would you start holding your land around like turn after 6 lands, just hoping that you draw this one of? It's a little hokey. Flame Break is the board wipe that you need more of. 3 damage to each creature without flying in each player. Creatures can't be regenerated. Nice little bonus. Flames of the Firebrand is 3 single damage delivered any way that you want. It's nice. You need more of them. The unlocks gave us a Cyclops Gladiator, 4 mana for a 4/4, and when it attacks, you can have it and target creature fight. That's nice. I like it. We talked about Furnace of Wrath. If you're playing against the big 3, this card will probably end up killing you, but your games will be fun. I used to play the Furnace of Wrath deck, like with 4 furnaces, and it was chaos. Magma Phoenix is some kind of like semblance of control. 3 or 5 mana for that 3/3, and then when it dies, it deals 3 to each creature and player. I don't know, man. I can't get the control version of this deck going. I think right now I have a weird middle version. Fire Servants are basically Furnaces of Wrath for your side of the board for instants and sorceries that you cast. So it doesn't go for creature damage, and at times that can be advantageous. Here's the late game. Cone of Flame, 5 mana. You deal 3, 2, 1 anywhere you want. For 5 mana, I don't know. That's alright. Way better than Lava Axe. Oh my god, I can't believe there's 3 of these. 5 mana, deal 5 damage to target creature or player. I mean, you need to acknowledge the fact that if you do a turn 4 Furnace, a turn 5 Fire Servant, turn 4 Furnace, I guess I'll show them big, and then a turn 5 Fire Servant, and then a turn 6 Lava Axe, you deal 5 damage, it gets doubled to 10 damage, and then it gets doubled to 20. So that's a win condition, and you have 2 of each of those cards, so that's feasible. I'm playing with both of these sassy 6-drops. Inferno Titan comes into play and pings 3 damage anywhere he wants, and he does that every time he attacks. And he has Fire Breathing, so that's another reason to keep all your mountains on the board, opposed to holding them for Seismic Assault. I might talk myself out of that Seismic Assault. Hostility's strong, 6 mana for a 6/6 that can attack the turn it comes into play, and then every time a spell you control would deal damage to an opponent, they don't take the damage, but you put a 3/1 elemental into play for each 1 damage prevented. So let's say you play this on turn 6 and can't attack. Turn 7, you disintegrate them for 6, or let's be even lamer, let's say you Lava Axe them for 5, and then instead of them taking that 5 damage, the damage is prevented, and then you get 5 3/1 tokens that have haste. So then you're swinging in for a total attack power of 21. That's really strong. I don't know. That's like a way to win the game. But try this deck out for yourself. It's fun. I might be doing middling and don't really have one general strategy and just kind of play it as it happens. But look at these cards that I'm not playing with. I don't really know what I would tweak. Humor me and play the deck the way that I have it built and see if you like it, and then tweak it from there. But I hope you sneak out a couple wins. This deck can get some victories off the big 3, and it's nice. It's a good feeling when you actually surprise them and defeat them with a deck that's not one of the top 3 tiers. And you're gonna have fun wins. The first time that you win with a Final Fortune, it'll take a couple tries, but you're gonna feel like a badass. That's it for this vid. Check out phonecats.com. I'll show you more cool games for your iPhone or iPad, and I got really good deals on iPhones and iPads that are used. Thanks for watching, Phonecats.